Bollywood is being vilified ceaselessly. It is a soft target, and I would urge audiences to use their brains. Yes, there is glamour, yes, there is fame, yes, there is money, yes, there is success. I would say that actors like themselves are also just human beings doing a job. Social media was supposed to be something that would connect us, that would be good, but instead it's just becoming a place of very in the pits kind of discourse, hateful nonsense, utter rubbish. Reason why the OTT is a special place and the reason why the OTT is a fun place is precisely that there is no censorship. Who are we protecting and from what? It's all out there anyway.
With regards to content and things that come out on web series or films, do you feel like a certain section of the society are very sensitive towards it or are trying to influence the audience in any way?
I mean, yeah, I think that there has been the whole debate around OTT censorship. And if you ask me personally, I don't support it because I think that the reason why the OTT is a special place and the reason why the OTT is a fun place is precisely that there is no censorship. And that the reason why we are seeing these new stories, we're being able to watch these new characters is precisely that it is not been censored. I don't think a show like Flesh can be made in its raw grittiness. So I don't believe in censorship. I do believe in certification. I believe in regulation. So I think that every show, and we still do it, every show says that, 18 and above. Which is of adult content. So I think it's important that the audiences should also self-regulate and that parents should regulate what their children are watching. I think that there is nothing wrong with expecting that parents will take responsibility for their underage children and the kind of content they're watching. There's enough apps and technology now for child locks and so on for them to be able to, make sure that that's not happening. And also, let's get real, yeah. I mean, the internet is an open space. There's already, look at the exposure levels of our audience. We're literally as content now competing with stuff that Hollywood is doing, that other countries are doing. The Danish, shows which have a lot of amazing content. The British shows that have such amazing content. The American shows, of course, are there. The shows like Narcos, which is from coming out of Mexico. I mean, who are we protecting and from what, really? I mean, it's all out there anyway.
Even a smallest of a line or any scene that people object to, and then it becomes like, a boycott, like a public thing that just happens. And where do you see this trend and how do you see it?
I mean, I always say that, India, sometimes we're in a situation where like a country of 1.3 billion hurt sentiments, 135 crore hurt sentiments, basically. That's what we are.
You feel like the atmosphere has turned so negative on social media with a lot of people taking a break from Twitter or other?
I think our public discourse is the pits. Our public discourse is disgusting. If you sit in front of the news channel, you will be able to witness it on a daily basis. I don't understand how anybody can remain sane if they subject themselves to that kind of content regularly. And I think that as a public, as a society, we're incapable of listening to each other's points of view. We're only accusing each other. That's hard. And we're drawing false equivalences. We're letting off. It's a mess. It really is a mess. And I think that the social media was supposed to be something that would connect us, that would be good. But instead it's just becoming a place of very in the pits kind of discourse. And very fractured, polarizing, hateful nonsense, utter rubbish. And the pandemic is not helping. Everyone is at home. So, there is bad scene.
Twitter is something where I think you've said it often that now if you don't trend, you're surprised by that because every other day we have Swara Bhasker trending for something or the other. How do you manage to keep yourself sane amidst all the negativity?
I don't look at it. I don't read my comments. I don't check the trends. Half the time I don't know when I'm trending. I'm not tuning into it, quite frankly, because I don't need that kind of rubbish in my life. And it's not a reflection that whatever is happening on Twitter is not a reflection of who I am. It's not a reflection of the work I'm doing. The work I'm doing is flesh. And so when people are commenting on that, I'm willing to engage in that conversation. I'm a human person. I'm not just a Twitter existence, So yeah, I don't tune into it actually. And I've spend a lot of time doing other things. Like as I just told you what my pandemic looked like. So I'm actually fairly busy. Oftentimes I just post what I have to post, and then I do not even look at the comments.
While faceless trolls are often mean and write mean things, but what happens when, some known people or known influencers come out and say stuff or troll people? How do you even react then? Like, being in the same industry.
As I said, people have the right to their opinion. I have no problem if people have a right to their opinion. Not everyone has to like me. That's fine. But if you're going to put out falsehoods about me in public, I will stand up for myself. I am. It's as simple as that. So I have no problem with anyone having an opinion. I have an opinion and I say it publicly. And if they have an opinion, they can say it publicly as well. But if it's a falsehood, then anything. It's like saying anything that is said in public. Expect for a reaction and expect to be challenged by people who don't agree with you. I don't have a problem with people disagreeing with me and challenging me. So they shouldn't have a problem with being challenged either. It's very simple. I don't take these things personally.
I must say that's a very, very dignified way of taking it and taking that stance. It's really amazing to see that. And lastly, if you had to give your fans a message, a general message, what would it be?
I would urge my fans to watch Flesh, first of all. It's the first time I've done action, and it's a very, very hard-hitting story with a very good intention, well made, and please watch my work and judge me for it. But I would also tell my fans, and not just my fans, I would tell the audience in general to use their brains, actually. And to not fall for every salacious rumor that they hear, to not fall for every toxic and perverse fantasy of their own imagining that they cook up about Bollywood. I would say that actors like themselves are also just human beings doing a job. All right, yes, there is glamour, yes, there is fame, yes, there is money, yes, there is success, but there is also just people who are doing their jobs. And I think that it's very, very important. And I'm saying this at a time when Bollywood is being vilified ceaselessly.
Do you think it's a soft target for people just out to win?
Yeah, it is a soft target. And I would urge audiences to use their brains, quite simply. Like, just try to apply the same logic that you apply to your daily life to the things that you hear about Bollywood as well. And suddenly a lot of things will not seem as big a hawa as they are being presented.
Thank you so much, Swara. It was amazing talking to you.
Pleasure chatting with you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.